Hello guys, you're welcome back once again. I am Chidit, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I created this eyeshadow look. I created this look for the one look I created, like the Igbo modern Igbo traditional bridal inspiration. So if this is what you're interested in, you need to keep watching. To begin, I'm using my classic lip stain in Thunder as my eyeshadow base because I'm going to be using a dark base. This is like my favorite shade from the classic lip stain, but I don't think I've used this particular shade on the lip. I don't think I've ever. It's always for my eyeshadow base, and it worked perfectly well for me. It just does the job perfectly well. So I just blend that out, guys. Always blend out the one eyes before you go to the other, because this is a lip stain and it dries out pretty fast. So make sure you blend properly before you go to the other eye as well. Apparently, I don't think I practiced what I preach because I didn't finish blending one before going to the other one. But make sure you blend very well, guys. So I'm going to be, the next step is using a brown eyeshadow from the palette and placing that on the lid and just, blending that out properly. Just make sure it's well blended. So I'm taking my time because trust me guys, this is like a dark shade of eyeshadow. You don't want to like mess it up. If you mess it up, it's going to be really messy. It's going to be difficult to correct. So I'm just using like a fluffy brush to blend the edges. Now I'm picking this color from my eyeshadow shade. This is like a lighter shade of brown to just blend the demarcation between the lid and the crease, and also on the outer corner of the eyes, because I don't want any demarcation. So if you notice, I keep switching brushes. So I went ahead to pick the first brown I used on the lid because we're going to be smoking it out a little bit. Not a little bit, like pretty intense. So I'm just blending that out little by little. I'm not rushing it. I'm just blending and smoking little by little. If you notice, I keep changing brushes. I changed my brush again. I picked a smaller blending brush, but it looks like the previous one I was using, but it's actually smaller. So this is just going to help me to blend that out perfectly well. So I just went into this eyeshadow, like into the crease with this color from the palette. It looks like red, it looks like purple, it looks like dark pink, but whatever it gives us here, let's just take it because it's really turning out nice and it's giving what I wanted to give, like what I planned in my head. This is what it's giving. So for my, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. pigment glue on to place my eyeshadow, but before that I'm using a powder to just blend out the demarcation, guys. Trust me, you don't want any demarcation. Always blend out with powder when you're done with your eyeshadow. Don't place the powder on top of the lid, just where the demarcation is. If you notice, like, it's just blending in. And to smudge under the eyes, I'm using the same brown I used on the lid, but this time I'm using like a very tiny blending brush, like an eyeshadow brush, but very tiny, because I don't want to mess it up. You don't want to mess up your eyeshadow, so just take it easy and always build up. Remember to always build up. If it's not enough, you can always add. And the product is yours, it's there. But if it's too much, you cannot reduce. So why not play safe and take very little quantity? And remember, when you're doing anything on the face, just always have like a powder puff in your finger so you don't leave fingerprints on her face. So now I'm using the powder. This is my Nuban Beauty powder in 07. It has another name attached to it, but that name has refused to enter my head. So I'm just blending that out because, well, one, I want it well blended, and secondly, I want it to have like a transition of a lighter brown to a darker brown. Do you understand? So now to define the eyeshadow, define the smoky, I'm using like a lighter shade. I prefer to use like a powder to do this. I don't like using concealer because I feel like concealer kind of messes it up when you're done. So I just prefer to use a powder to do this. So while we're doing that, I place the glitter glue on the back of my palm and let it get tacky. Guys, don't go directly on the eyelid with a glitter glue that is not tacky. Unless when you apply it, you leave it there to get tacky on the eyelid, which is going to be pretty inconveniencing for the for your client or your model to leave her eyes closed. So we're going to be beginning with this shade from my eyeshadow palette. That shade, it has like it looks like pink, it looks like gold, it looks like peach, it looks like purple. It just looks like so many colors. So I'm going to be adding this gold just on top of it. I want it to have that gold kind of look on top of it, like shiny. It's going to have pink and the rest of it, but it's also going to have gold. So now I want to place my glitter. I went ahead again with my glitter glue or a pigment glue, whatever you want to call it, on top of the lid. And now I'm using this pigment. This pigment is for Y Glam Cosmetic. I think in the name of this shade is I can't remember. Guys, but I've had this pigment for a very long time. So I'm just placing it on the eyelid and blending it out. I'm using the pigment to cover like the entire eyelid, not like entire eyelid, but I'm just covering like a lot of space from the eyelid. So I'm using my powder brush to dust off, but I try to just, not use the brush I'm supposed to use because it was far away, but I had to still go back to get it. This brush is called a whisk away brush. So I'm using it to take out the excess pigment fallout from the eye. So now to line her waterline, I'm using my Beyond Beauty gel liner to do that. I bring that out, put it on the back of my palm and close the container because I don't want it to dry up. So I put it on the back of my palm, let it get tacky a little bit before I start using it. So I line her on the eyes, and also I'm lining her I line her waterline and now I'm lining her lash line. So to line the lash line, I just pick a very little quantity, guys, very little quantity, and build up. Always build up. So I'm going for like a very tiny liner because already we have like drama on her eyes, so we don't want so much. So now I'm going to be using my Wing Beauty mascara to add volume to her natural lashes and also take out excess pigment fallout on the lashes before I place my false lashes. Guys, always use a mascara before you go into it with your false lashes. This way, whatever fallout from the eyeshadow you have, it's going to take it off. So to do her brows, I'm using my regular Davis brow pencil in number 3. I make sure I sharpen this pencil, like make sure it's as sharp as possible. When doing the brows, I usually have like 4 to 5 sharpened pencils on my hand because your pencils has to be as sharp as possible, and I don't have time to just keep going back and sharpening pencil and coming back. So I just sketch it lightly under the eyes and also on top. I just sketch it lightly, following her natural brows. Now I'm filling the outer corner, like the ending part of the brows. I'm filling it, and I went ahead to change my pencil into a more sharp pencil. Like I said, your pencil has to be as sharp as possible. That was fast because I already have like a sharp pencil on my hand. That way it's going to make my brows easy for me to accomplish. Does that even make sense? Like, it's going to make it easy for me. So guys, at this point, if you're not subscribed to my channel, you're wrong. Make sure you click the subscribe button, like this video, and drop a comment for me about what you think about this video, or just keep watching. So I just keep filling the parts where I need to fill light strokes because I don't want it dark. Already she's light skin, and when you go in, when you apply pressure, you're not going to like it. It's going to look really dark, and it's not just going to suit her. And guys, you know my vibe, my makeup style, like beauty enhancement. We don't do transformation over here. We enhance your natural beauty. So now I'm concealing the brows, like just basically cleaning it because I already have eyeshadow. So I'm taking like the tiniest concealer of all to conceal the brows. So that's the advantage of doing your brows last. You don't get to waste product, and also it turns out beautifully well. So I'm just using my blending brush to blend that out, and whatever you do, just blend. Whatever you do, just blend. Then I get a powder to seal that in, like blend that. And whatever you do on this eyes, you do the same thing on the eyes basically. So I already concealed the other parts through the brow, so I'm just using powder to fill it. So now time to apply my lashes because I just put the glue on it to get tacky while I do the brows. I use my classic lash glue, and this lashes I'm using is the Wing Beauty. That's the only lashes I use for now. The Wing Beauty, they have amazing, lots of beautiful, amazing lashes, guys. You should try them out. And this lashes application was trying to stress me a little bit, but I had to show it that it's Judith that's in charge, and it just kind of respected itself, and everything went well. So I'm going to be like defining or cleaning the beginning part of the brows. For this part time, I'm using a darker shade, the same shade I used to contour the nose, to do that because I don't want it looking white. When I use like a lighter shade, it's not going to look natural at all. It needs to look like the brows came out from her head, like came out from her brows. Oh, does that even make sense? So I'm just using like a darker shade of powder to fill that in because we're not going to leave the concealer like that. And guys, this is the finished look of this makeup. This is the eye look, and trust me, this is so beautiful. Give this video a very big thumbs up if you enjoy. Subscribe to my channel if you're yet to subscribe. Share this video with your friends and anyone who you think might find this video helpful. And bye for now.